This up too badly. Hello, my name is Randy Rolfe, and this is a Nikken showcase by independent consultants to give you an overview and introduction to Nikken. So I'm going to share a PowerPoint here for you, and I see there are two here. That's the problem. Okay. And we believe Nikken is a better way, in fact, I think a whole new way to a life in balance. And it's all about people, planet, and profit. And it's really a choice that we invite you to make, to go to active wellness and collaborative entrepreneurship. And it's all about success in all areas of life. And Nikken started in 1975 with the philosophy of the 5 pillars of health: healthy mind, healthy body, healthy family, healthy society, and healthy finances. And they use that philosophy in all that they do. And we achieve that kind of success by compounding the effects of our daily smart choices in everything we do in each day. And it creates a radical difference over time in income, health, relationships, happiness, and success. It's not big choices, it's little daily habits and routines. And what's affecting us most today is stress. And when I was a family counselor, after I left law to be with my family, I saw that the daily problems, the stress built up from financial problems. And most people were leveraging only their time, because their time equaled money. And 95% of the population only controls 5% of the wealth. It's really business owners and investors that control 95% of the wealth. But the problem is, how do we get from one group to the other? And it usually involves a whole lot of money traditionally. But the gig economy has allowed independent workers to have on-demand availability for temporary and part-time assignments, and Nikken fits perfectly into that. Uber and Amazon have shown how our economy has really changed, and most of us haven't really caught up, even the financial district. But Nikken is the perfect gig. There's low cost of entry. You don't need $1 million, only $100 to join the Nikken enterprise, and then to get your own products and share them. It's easy to integrate into your life. In fact, you want to, because it makes you healthier and feeling better. And there's a turnkey entrepreneurship system that's been developed since the 70s when Nikken started, and leadership development plan. And so Nikken's really the perfect gig. And we leverage the efforts and time of others, and we get paid a little bit on a regular basis from Nikken for helping others feel better. So you get your products, you share them and promote them, invite people to join you. Nikken does all the heavy lifting, and Nikken rewards us handsomely. Well, the cash flow engine behind this whole business is our wellness home. And our goal is every home a wellness home, because you buy your products, you get on our monthly consumables, you upgrade to make a wellness home. You want your family and friends and colleagues to use them. And Nikken's always researching more and more healthy technologies, non-medical, patented technologies to increase our wellness in our homes and our cars and our offices. So it's a purpose-driven model. We're really helping people, planet, and our own profit comes from helping people. And the business model is basically having 5 customers who are building wellness homes, and then finding 3 core leaders who want to duplicate and make a business out of it. So we teach 3 to reach 3. Each of those people has their at least 5 customers building wellness homes, and they teach 3 to also do the business and get their customers. So we have a mentoring system called the ABC, where we help people introduce Nikken to others. So you don't sit around, try to study everything and learn everything and start from scratch. you have a mentor to help you. So there's a really strong support system, and we all work together. We don't get jealous between different organizations because we all help each other, and it's a win-win-win situation. And I love this. You don't know what one apple seed can be responsible for if it's nurtured and timing is good. It can be responsible for millions of apples. And that's our goal in Nikken as business leaders, is to impact millions of people with wellness and also an income opportunity. And this is a wonderful diagram that you can study at length. And it really shows how your organization grows as you teach 3 to reach 3 to reach 3. And their customers increase, and we're helping the planet get healthier. And meanwhile, Nikken is sending you profits. And you go from the leadership silver level up to Royal Diamond. And Royal Diamonds have impacted hundreds of thousands of people. And we can go into the compensation plan. It's quite advanced and the best in the market of direct sales. It's quite astonishing. So now we're going to talk about the products, the basis of why Nikken is such a life-changing opportunity. And I'm going to introduce Hattie Jane Daracourt, my co-host, to share with you about the products. So Hattie Jane, please proceed with our health facts.
Oh, thank you so very much, Randy. And thank you for taking a look at us through a recording or joining us today. Because as you see outlined is kind of the 24-hour, 7-day a week, 12 months of the year lifetime where stress, sleep, air you breathe, and the water you drink are strongly parts of your lives. And we have product of aspects of that address those, that make it healthier and more comfortable, and really gives you some interesting choices of how you want to deal with things. As you can see in our next slide, we talk about our children being a measurement of how well we're doing in health issues. And we've been very concerned about the amount of obesity showing up in our children. And also we're concerned about the amount of neurological complications our children are showing up with in our schools, and learning difficulties. And it's vastly different than what it was years ago. And so we call that a trend, and it's got going in a very healthy way. And we want to be part of the intervention that gives you choices. Now, how does that do that? Well, as you see on this next slide, we say you can be healthy by choice, not by chance. Now, this is not a miracle thing, and you're not going to be super duper and healthy, and no matter what you do, you still have to be aware of what is healthy and make a choice for the better opportunity. Nikken gives you just a wonderful insight because it works with the Earth's energy and our solar energy. And it comes out of our technology improvement and understanding over these recent years, dealing first when we first went into space. Well, they were around about 5,000 years before that, but folks kind of discount ancient history sometimes. But in the newest history, when we went out in space, we found some very interesting realities about the human body and the human function as it relates to the Earth. And we found that by protecting our astronauts from solar flares and being able to breathe and maintain health inside the capsule, they were able to, but then they came back to Earth, and those very first early astronauts were extremely debilitated. Some were able to recover, and some never did so well. So we're looking at our homes, because that's where we live and grow, as a greenhouse, because we're providing products that allow our bodies to relate again in a very healthy manner to the Earth energy and to the solar energy that is so beneficial for us without overwhelming our burning us, so to speak, or interrupt. And we find it extremely helpful in dealing with modern day life. And it's your individual home, your individual greenhouse. So just like some greenhouses may need more humidity than other greenhouses, you adjust your life, but with the benefit of these particular product lines, you can do it better. The nutrition is based on whole foods. It's not chemicals. It's based on the process in which it's kosher and vegan, which you don't find very easily. And then you have individual products which you can carry throughout the day or add into individual areas of your life or need as your body needs it and life needs it, and can vastly improve over the 24 hours. And the water, of course, is 24 hours, but they have the shower unit, which then makes it, when you bathe, all that wonderful skin and vapor that you breathe, so much healthier. And the water is extremely drinkable because it tastes so good. And people with acute awareness of hydration needs have found that it hydrates better than anything they've used before. And it's so economical, and it's portable. You're not tied into plumbing. You're not tied into division. And then the sleep system, which was the other part. You see, we had the things that went throughout the day. Well, this is what you do at night. And you encapsulate yourself in the earth energy and in the solar energy, and your body can achieve deep, relaxed, peaceful sleep, in which your little enzymes and all the little goodies in our health system our personal health, come running out to play and help us take care of any toxins and heal and grow stronger, so we're healthier and we feel so much more rested when we wake up after all this work's been going on in us and we didn't even know about it. So you can see the company's been so very neat. They're so wise. They've gone together and made individual packs. And so like you see the topper for the bed, the comforter for over your body, and the pillow that specifically goes under your head. And that creates the earth energy with a touch of the solar that brings that deep, restful sleep. And the water system, as you can see at the countertop one, or you can sit it in a nearby closet if you don't want it out. But you pour it in from the tap. And as you've heard some comments about our taps and our pipes aren't new and we're having problems, distinct problems. But we're not adding to the landfills or the tremendous pollution of plastic that are now our oceans and our own systems are undergoing, because Nikken's transportable bottle that we use during the day when we're out and away from the bottle of water we've just drunk is refillable from a tap and has its filter in it. And yet in the landfill, within 3 months, it'll be disintegrated and gone bye-bye. So we don't add to the plastic load. And then we have our last pack is that multi-energy pack, which has the insoles, which was the very first product that Nikken's founder, Mr. Masuda, put into the system. Said, well, then we know about this, we know about that, and we're capable of making that. Let's see if this works. And boy, this makes me feel better. Maybe other people would feel better. And became, within 10 years, the fastest, largest direct sales market in Japan. I believe it still holds that record, and that was 43 years ago. So every year, Nikken has continued to grow and to be where it's a research and development company now. Exactly, it's not a manufacturer of only that goes in only to make the products because it's the latest fad. They're truly based on science and wellness, because it's how the body works well is what they're supporting. And the nutritional factors, you see here, there are 3 territories that many of us have found so extremely helpful. In the center is what we call our weight management, our vital balance. And I took it, got on my act together and got to working on my nutritional status after years. And because I was a very sugar addict, tremendously loved the stuff. Wasn't good on my body, and it hasn't been good on my mind. So now I can remember passwords, and I can cope with this new technology that's come out long after I was in school. And the barley grass is the finest formulation on the market, and the Ciega is the finest antioxidant on the market. And they're all available from Nikken every month, if you like. And so check into it. What is good for your body? What things would you like to enjoy better? Could you use deep or restful sleep? Could you use better hydration? Could you have something that they've said, just live with it, because it's not going to be, but just live with it, that maybe you'd like to find out if you could feel more comfortable with and have your body work better? Ask the folks that referred you, or check in with us, because it really can happen. And so become an part-time or full-time entrepreneur and help us spread the word. This is we broke the surface, we're around, we're growing, but there's huge territory out there that hasn't heard anything of us. And they're so used to folks doing marketing fads, they're hard to believe. So check us out. Thank you, Randy.
Thanks so much, Hattie Jane. She's a very experienced nurse and knows so much about the body, and I'm so happy she can share about the products. Now I'd like to introduce Barbara Richmond, who's from Canada, up north of Toronto. And Barbara, if you could share what you were doing before you discovered Nikken, and how you were feeling, and how Nikken has what experiences you've had, how it's helped you and your family, and welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Randy.
International.
My story started actually when I was 4 years old and had two life-threatening illnesses at the same time, and my mother saved my life. 3 years later, I was diagnosed with a juvenile joint challenge and also debilitating headaches, where you go into a dark room and you cocoon yourself with a pillow on top and underneath, and all the blinds pulled, and you ask everybody to walk on eggs. So that was from age 7. I was put on prescription drugs, which my tummy did not like. And so I rarely took them. I just suffered through those episodes. Just before at the time we were introduced to Nikken, 4.5 years earlier, my hubby and I were rear-ended, stopped at a red light. And my headaches had been semi-controlled, but that accident, I was in a cervical collar for 8 weeks. My husband's chronic back problem resurfaced, and I had I'll call it a headache every day for 4.5 years. Chiropractic, massage therapy, physiotherapy, acupuncture, medications, nothing worked to get rid of the headache. A classmate of mine called me, and she and her husband said that they had found something. Jim was a public health inspector, and they invited us to a presentation. Her come on to me was, "Have you solved Wayne's snoring?" And I said, "No." She said, "Well, I've solved Jimmy's." So that was enough to get me to listen. We went to the presentation, and they loaned us a sleep system for 3 nights. Now, we owned and operated a bed and breakfast at the time, so making the beds when my head was misbehaving was difficult. And my husband could look in my eyes and tell if he was going to have to take me to emergency that day to have an injection to stop the violent vomiting. Then he'd bring me home and he'd tuck me into bed, and I might sleep the clock around, and he'd have the full responsibility of our B&B. So the first morning after sleeping on the sleep system, he looked at me and he said, "You don't have a headache, do you?" And I said, "I do not." He said, "I don't mean the debilitating one. I mean your regular headache." I said, "No, it's gone." Now, I used to tease him about sounding like an orchestra, because he didn't just snore, he contributed other sounds as well. And he said, "What was I like?" And I said, "Well, quite honestly, you scared me." we tried this system from Nancy and Jim because we trusted them. But I got up twice through the night and stuck a mirror under your nose to make sure you were still breathing. You were so quiet, and I wasn't used to that. We gave it back after 3 nights. The following day, my headache was back. The orchestra returned to the bedroom. So we started talking about how could this technology work so quickly and so effectively? And we had allocated monies to do some upgrades at the B&B before our guests started arriving again. And Nancy called and she said, we're going away for a week. And I said, are you taking that system with you? She said, no. You want to borrow it while we're gone? I said, yes, please. So we got it back. The next morning, got up, felt like $1 million. So I turned to my hubby and I said, you know what? We're going to give up on some of the rentals that we were considering. We're going to invest in our own sleep system so we have our own by the time they get back. And he agreed. I've been on a sleep system ever since. Not only that, Wayne and I both used to experience, you know, when you get the knots in the lower back and it radiates down the leg. We both experience that every day. So we got this. And I wear this 24/7. I wear these 24/7. This is always with me in my purse, in the car. So if I meet somebody, I can pull it out and offer relief. And I'm never away from my water. It goes everywhere with me, even to formal functions. People look at me oddly, but I'm not going to drink what they offer that's generally municipal or poorly filtered water. I wear the power band on my neck, and I also wear one of the Perfect Link necklaces. So I went from having 2 to 4 debilitating headaches per week. I've had 5 in almost 20 years. All 5, I've been able to get rid of them in less than an hour by reaching for the Mag Duo. I use the CM cream on my temples, the forehead, behind my ears. And no Advil, no Tylenol. I'm on no prescription drugs of any kind. If you go to a new practitioner, you have to fill out a form. They'll hand it back to me and they'll say, ma'am, you forgot to list your prescriptions. And I'll say, no, I didn't. I'm not on any. Then they'll verify my age. I'm in my 70s and I'm on no prescription drugs, and they find that hard to believe. I always get a full 8 hours sleep at night. I have energy. I'm active, and I absolutely love Nikken. I cannot imagine a life without it. I unfortunately lost my husband very suddenly and unexpectedly. Our last conversation before he stroked was, promise me you'll never give this business up. And I said to him, but we've discussed this many times, that if we saw somebody in need, whether physical or financial, if we didn't offer it, we were being selfish. As long as we offer it, they can make their own decision whether they want more information and want to pursue it further. He kept pressing me, so I did as he asked. I looked him in the eyes and promised him I would never give Nikken up. And then we said, good night, sleep well, I love you, I'll see you in the morning. And the next morning, he'd had a major stroke, and I lost him a few days later. So I'm fulfilling my promise to him, and I wouldn't have given it up anyways, because I've seen too many amazing results from people. Different challenges. One product might affect people in different ways, but they all work because they are produced from nature, nature's energy. and we've been disconnected from it. This helps us put the body back in balance so that the body can literally recover from whatever challenges it's been experiencing. So that's my story, Randy.
Thank
I
you.
also am an RN, and you don't need to be an RN and have all that knowledge. In fact, sometimes it interferes. You forget about that, but you might have a little bit of insight as to what to suggest. But the science, no, you don't need to know the science. You just need to know it works and give people a chance to try it.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Barbara. Wonderful story. And I love hearing these stories because there are so many. And I didn't have any complaints when I started Nikken, but I love the idea. And I since I started studying nutrition in the 70s, I thought, I'm going to learn from other people's experience and prevent problems. So that's why I embraced Nikken back in 97, was because I wanted to stay healthy. And now, you know, over 20 years later, I'm in my 70s as well. And you don't have the kinds of problems that so many people do because of the buildup of stress, toxins in their water, toxins in their air, toxins in their bedding, and we don't have that. So Nikken allows us to protect ourselves and take care of ourselves. And you said it so well. It's all about balance and supporting the body naturally. So thank you so much, Barbara. Yes. And
I can just add one thing. I take all the nutritionals. And for 15 years, I never had a cold or a flu bug. This January, I did get strep throat and pneumonia, but I recovered more quickly because of our nutritionals.
So true. Yes. Nutrition is key, and Nikken has taken care of that piece too. It's really wonderful. And I will be sharing some of my nutrition knowledge tonight on Michelle and Madeline's call at 5 and 8 at this same place, the royalalliance.com. So if you want to join us then or bring some guests, that would be fun. Thanks again, Barbara from Canada, and
thank you.
All those others aboard, and wonderful moving stories, but Nikken is capable of that because the body is a miracle. And if we support it with everything it needs, it can do some amazing jobs. And thank God for modern medicine, but we have to do our part also to stay well. So thanks, everybody. And I will send this out to folks at the end of the recording.